Yeah, yeah. I thought that tomorrow, Thursday, was my doctor's appointment. I knew that it was on the 29th, but I wasn't paying attention to what day it was. But last week, Jeff put it in my head that it would be on Thursday. He goes, next week, on Thursday, is your appointment. And he just put it in my head that the 29th would be on Thursday. It was this morning. And so 5 minutes before I'm supposed to be there for my appointment with the ortho doctor, yeah, Jeff came in from work and he had even scheduled the day off, or the half the day off, so that he could take me. And he comes rushing back in from work. Today's the appointment date, not tomorrow. Hey, God dang it, wish. So I had to rush and put clothes on, and I had to go to the doctor, having not taken a shower. Just woken up. Well, not just woken up, but having been up all morning. So I met with the ortho. That was difficult. That was difficult. It struck me emotionally. It did. I first noticed pain in my shoulder, I guess, where it was bothering me before the 2000s, in the early 2000s. And I went to the La Clinica here in Las Cruces. I think I had it looked at in Houston, and we had discussed it. Yeah, doctor did some X-rays, discussed it, talked about surgery or whatever. Nothing else was said in Houston, and it was probably such a quick, I had just been to the appointment and then I moved. That's why I didn't follow through, and I came here. And then it got bad. In the early 2000s, I went and got cortisone injections. And it worked. It worked. It relieved me of the pain that I was experiencing. And so it wasn't until 2008 that I had them done again. Sometime around 2008 to 2010, somewhere around there. So I got the injections done again, and it lasted until now. So it was about 2.5, I guess, it's about 5 weeks ago when this struck. Now, there was the man across the street, and he threw me down, slammed me from my chest onto the ground. And it could be that he exacerbated my condition, causing it to get to this point. But that was in October. That was before my surgery on 11/11. So he threw me to the ground. That I was sore, no big deal. Anyways, he hit me in the chest. And then I had surgery on 11/11 for the inguinal hernia, and I've been recovering since then, and trying not to lift and do things like that. But about 5 weeks ago, it struck me really bad, like nerve impingement. So I didn't get any X-rays from my PCP like I should have, but they X-rayed me this morning, and she brought them into the office and sat down with me and showed them to me. She opened up the X-rays on the computer screen, and we walked through the shape of my bones and how it works and what I'm looking at. What portions are arthritic, things like that. But that wasn't the most interesting thing that we got to see. She proceeded to show me that the clavicle, which is a long straight bone that runs from here in your neck all the way over to your shoulder blade. That bone right there, the clavicle. Yeah. That she showed me it, and it had been broken. Yeah. And a compound break. And it folded over on itself and turned. And then fused together. Yeah. So I'm surprised that I'm not unsymmetrical, in my stance. I may be. I don't know. I don't actually watch myself walk or hold myself, but right now I'm favoring the shoulder because I had and plus the angle of the camera. So they gave me injections this morning, and yeah, and I remember what it was that happened, and it really struck me. And then to have to just, because she said you would remember, you would remember when this happened, and I guess I did, even though I didn't want to. But my dad had taken me and thrown me against a cement wall. He was so mad that he grabbed me and just threw me across the room, across the basement area into a cement wall. It was like getting hit by a Mack truck. Yeah. And it was very frightening. And I was in pain and fear for my life. I jumped up and scampered away. And I guess I never told my mom. If I did, she blew it off, which she normally did. Everything that, if I was crying for hours and hours and hours with a compound fractured clavicle, then that explains it, Stupid child. So that places me around 7 or 8 years old, somewhere around there, 7 or 8. And it certainly explains the fear that I had of my father. So much so that at 13 years of age that my mother agreed to let me go to a home to live with another person, a woman and her husband, Carole Beach, when I was 13. So we lived in Germany when I was 7, 8, 9. And then when I was 10 or 11, I got appendicitis, and that's when we moved. So we usually had a station around 3 years. So from 7 to 10, yeah, maybe going on 8, going on 11, I don't know. But that was my age when he broke my shoulder. And yeah, so I told her, well, that's childhood abuse right there. That's child abuse. That's child abuse. That's what it is. And he's dead. He's gone. The monster's dead. The monster can't hurt anybody anymore. No. And he did his job, he disrupted everything to the point where even now I realize why my siblings were as bad as they were. Why they hated me. Because it pleased him so. And so what pleased him, they would do. He was a sick man. Yeah, so I have to keep it light for 3 days. She said, please, 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 while it's there, let it work. And let the cortisone do its thing. She tried to explain to me, and I told her, isn't it just like a lubricant? Aren't you just filling me up? Aren't you just lubing the axis? The axes? But she said, no, it's an anti-inflammatory, and it's going to allow space to formulate between the joint and the ball joint and the socket. But as far as the clavicle itself, you can clearly see that it's in 2 separate pieces fused. It's so odd and turned. It's the very strangest looking bone I've ever seen. And she said so too. It's sad. So had it been examined at the time it had happened, I'm sure that he would have to have answered to someone. And I remember sitting with my mom and her friends, and I had questioned her friends that were friends for many years. How is it that you let this go by, all this abuse? And they all admitted that they were sorry, that They were raised not to say such things. Not to say anything. Not to say anything. So I wonder about the doctors who examined me all these years. Like the one that first saw it. Why didn't he say something? Or La Clinica, why didn't they say something? Or just recently, just this past week, why didn't my PCP say something? Ron, your clavicle is broken. It's fused, but it was broken, compound. And maybe they would even say, is your partner abusive to you? Was there an incident? Were you hit by a car or a freight train? What was it? Did you fall off the building? What was it that would have done this to you? I mean, you would know. That's what she said. You wouldn't remember. Yes, that's very difficult. So the 29, that's an 11. That's the mirror, but it's the message, angelic message. And then with the 10 of the 3 and the 7, can create a 111 situation as temple, as the temple is the body, as it's the artist, as it is the creation of finding that which is invested upon, hidden, and bring it out, bring out the beauty, the creativity, beauty of all things. The old and broken, discarded is where you'll find it. So this is a number 3 day. Yeah, number 3. Yeah, and it's an investment. I know that, you know, this is why I'm a child. Yeah. This is why I'll never take life seriously. This is why I'll never cooperate with authority. I'm sorry. This is why I'm lawless. Because the child was broken a long time ago. So this is my time to be a child. So this is what I'm going to embrace. Because they're all dead now. They're all gone. Family's gone. No one believes me. Even if I was to say something to my siblings now, they still wouldn't believe me. They say I was crazy, that I made this up. Yeah, a child makes this up, yeah. You make up such a discovery, you know. Yeah. Makes you wonder. Who are they keeping their children from? What monster was lurking amongst them? Well, it wasn't me. No. So, have a great day, and I guess I'll get back with you. I'll overcome, and I'll get back into the gardening and get back into trying not to be so miserable. Maybe to be a little bit more humble and work hard in making this happen so that I can earn an income and I could be a productive person again. Maybe then I can start following rules again and no one will harm me. No one will harm me ever again. Yeah. So that's important. Talk to you soon. Bye. God bless you all.